High above the world, in an ancient village clinging to a massive rocky cliff, lived two very different neighbors. At the very peak stood the highest and most crooked house of all, leaning precariously to the left. This was the home of Boo, a small white bunny who preferred a life of precision and quiet routine. At the bottom lived Porto, a cheerful pig who spent his days tending to his beloved cabbage garden. They were separated by distance and habit, until one fateful Tuesday morning changed everything. Boo was walking down, his nose buried in a list of carrots and candles, completely unaware of what lay ahead. Porto was pushing a mountain of cabbages uphill, humming a tune as he struggled with the steep incline. At the 47th step, they collided. Cabbages flew like green boulders through the mountain air. They worked together to reload the wheelbarrow, debating the most precise way to organize a vegetable pile. They sat together and shared a cabbage. Porto took giant bites while Boo took 47 tiny ones. "I live at the bottom," Porto grunted happily. "I live at the top," Boo replied softly. At the sun-warmed market square, Boo watched in awe as Porto boisterously sold his harvest to the villagers. When Boo couldn't find string for his parcels, Porto simply pulled a length from his pocket and handed it over. They shared a massive lunch, finding that food tastes better when shared with a new friend. Porto decided to make the long climb to the top, counting every step out loud with his tiny companion. At the midpoint terrace, Porto looked out at the valley, seeing the world's beauty for the very first time. By a golden hour, they reached a leaning house. Porto had to squeeze quite a bit to get through the door. Inside, Porto reorganized the kitchen while Boo brewed tea with his usual, extreme precision. They watched a purple sunset from the front step, agreeing that a single night wasn't enough for such a friendship. As the seasons shifted, the climb became a daily routine, filled with mushrooms, honey, and shared stories. On the coldest nights, they exchanged gifts: a carved wooden bunny and a book recording their days together. When winter's chill arrived, Porto made the journey to care for Boo, fixing his lock and cooking warm soup. When spring returned, they sat at their midpoint terrace once more to celebrate the anniversary of their crash. Porto tied a string between them, making a playful promise that they would never drift away from each other. In a village on a cliff, a bunny and a pig proved that the steepest hills are easily climbed with a friend.